Question for tonight is, do you have an insignificant memory that has stayed with you all these years? Like one of those just random little things you remember that's nothing particularly spectacular, but it's just a moment you remember.
Um, when Maz was a kid and her parents were still alive, she was trying to sneak out of the house. And
Mm-hmm.
this was like before she became a super good thief, even though she was always like super sneaky because of course. And
Right.
she she quietly slipped out of the bed that she shared with Braz and was like tiptoeing on her little goblin feet, and she saw her mom in the kitchen um, with a candle lit doing like kitchen stuff. She doesn't know what that is, but it was kitchen stuff for sure. Um, like really late at night and like singing goblin songs. And she took one step and the floorboard creaked, and her mom didn't even turn around and was like, Maz, you get your butt back in bed, and then kept going with her song. And Maz turned right around and went back in bed. And it doesn't mean anything, but she remembers it.
An impetus to be more stealthy.
Yeah, she
Nice.
really she really bungled that one.
That's great.
Well, Grotus was passing out our promotional balloons at one of the festival shows, so one of our circus shows. There was a little kid who was so entranced by his balloon, he just kept like looking at it, staring at it, and picking his nose. And then he picked out a big old booger and then wiped it on the balloon and played with it for a little bit, and then just kind of let the balloon go off into the stands and just watched it drift over the crowd.
Releasing the booger into the world.
Grotus doesn't know why. He
Some
just
say
thinks
that
about that a
booger
lot.
is still in the air to this day.
Oh man. All right.
Well, back a bajillion years ago when we were kids, me and Maz were playing outside one day. Nothing special. And all of a sudden, this little family of ducks just crossed the road. Mama and her babies. Braz watched them. They didn't do anything spectacular. They were just crossing the road. And then after a minute, they were gone.
Ducks.
Ducks are cool, man.
Ducks are cool. How about you, Honker?
Um, yeah, the like shortly after Honker became sentient, um, when he was wandering around the house that he was in, he stumbled into a room he'd never been before, with this like beautiful white chair that people sit on, and then they grunt a bunch and they seem like really excited, and then they go do other things. And so Honker's always been fascinated with that room, and not particularly important because he can't find very many of those things, because indoor plumbing being quite rare. But he thinks about like when he grows up, like he wants like a beautiful white chair to like grunt on and be tired out before bed.
Oh wow.
That's surprisingly beautiful for the subject context.
I know, right? All right. Does anybody remember what we got up to last time?
We got to the city, and everybody was like, "Man, you have a heartbeat. You're in for a bad time."
And we're trying to impress people. I remember now.
Grotus ran down a wall.
Grotus did run down a wall. That was pretty cool.
You guys got to see the inside of a bag of holding for a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But yeah, we did manage to make it to Shrine after a thrilling chase off the edge of a cliff from cosmic horrors.
What else is new?
So yeah, here in Shrine, like you are alive, and there's quite a fair bit of alive folks around here too that are either slaves or people passing through. But this is a city of the dead, and it's run by the Drow, and it seems like there's parts of town you're not really able to go in right now on account of you having no street cred. And
I take offense to that.
yeah, we don't have any street cred down here. You don't have any Shrine street cred.
What he's trying to
take
say
offense.
is we're fucking losers.
Yeah. So, there's a couple places that we'd poked around last time. Like we went to the kind of inn that's here and met the guy who enjoys death puns, the proprietor there. And you guys have a room there for now. And, he mentioned a few places around town to go check out. So you have places such as the Red Circus, which you guys did stop by and got some information about, and there's some things that you can do there to help with your influence, whether that's doing circus type performances or gladiatorial fights and things of that nature. You've also heard about the Antiquities Quarter, which is kind of the shopping market district that might have stuff to check out, but you haven't gone over there yet. And then you also heard about the House of Chains, which is like the slave trade area here. There's a market for that. And there's other places around town, but those are the ones you've heard about at least. And of course, there's the big central pyramid, which seems to be where those in charge seem to be, but they don't really have any interest in just meeting with randos passing through the town. So you gotta find some way to generate some interest in yourselves. So, yeah, and see the map is all visible to you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I was just making sure it wasn't like showing up just black. Cool. So, in terms of places, so the inn is number 7 on the map there, and the Red Circus is number 4, right next door to it. So if there are places on here that you want to go check out, you've heard that the Merchant Quarter, the Antiquities Quarter, is up kind of in the area closer to the pyramid. And then the House of Chains is kind of over in the western part of this area. But yeah, if you guys want to poke around or visit anywhere in particular that you see on here.
I love how the name for the slave quarters thing sounds like a suburban outlet store.
It's your local suburban goth scene store. It's the hot topic of Shrine.
Yeah.
Well, we went
I
to the
don't
Red Circus or no?
You did. So at the Red
we've been there.
Circus, you guys went there and you saw some, gladiatorial performance going on, and you met with this guy, who's
That's
Avizek
right.
Shrain, kind of a handsome, youthful-looking drow gentleman. And you had a little bit of a chat with him, and he's excited to learn that you guys were circus performers, and said, and he kind of made some elaborate promises of riches and fame in his arena if you wish to participate. So if you do wish to stop by the Red Circus and do some stuff, you can do some circus performing. You can do your signature tricks, things like that, to earn both money and influence points down here. And you can also do the gladiatorial fights, which are, there'll be fights of various kinds, also for influence there. And so far, that's the only place you guys had ventured to aside from the inn, was just the Red Circus, and you got that information.
Well, where do you guys think we should go? What are you thinking?
We can do some more circus stuff. I mean, that seems to be right in our wheelhouse. But when that dries up, I think we can crack some skulls. I can break some bones, even if they're my own. And that'll get us some, it'll make everybody smile. It'll make them like us.
Surely.
One would hope. Okay. Sure, we can do some performances here. So, for these, so each, if you decide to do a performance, this is like a performance lasting throughout the the course of a week, that you're kind of in the roster with the other people who do stuff here. And those of you who are wishing to perform can throw your hat in the ring, and we'll have to go through your trick and do your trick checks, and we'll talk all about that and see what we get out of it. So if we're doing performances, who is wanting to join in on that?
Oh, Honker's definitely always down for a performance.
Okay.
I'm ready to perform.
Sure.
All right, we're just going around, all four of you doing a performance at some point or other during the week.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Well then, let's see. I'm gonna roll a d4, so we'll say 1 Braz, 2 Grotus, 3 Honker, 4 Maz. Let's see what order we go in here. Maz.
Of course.
You're up first. So, if you recall, there was some information I posted right after our thing last week about our tricks and what they were last time we did tricks. If you scroll up to, let me get the link specifically just for ease of use. There you go. So that
I would
is what
really
you
like
had.
to say that I looked through it. I would love to say that.
I did, but it's
He's
been
with your
so
husband.
long
doing?
since I've done a trick. I don't remember how it all works.
Sure. So the way that the tricks
Liar.
work, just to refresh our memories here. So with you can pick a couple of traits. So at this point, with the level that we're at, your trick can have 3 traits, and you can roll 3 different checks that we pass for the parts of your trick. And so the list of trait bonuses there, like if your trick has those traits and you have a check that relates to, like say you have an aerial based trick and you decide to roll acrobatics for one of your checks, it'll have a slight bonus to that. And basically it works like how, like when you have a turn in combat, you have 3 actions. And so you have 3 actions of your trick. And each action you can assign a different skill roll to, whether that's, a skill, whether that's an attack roll, some kind of save. It all just kind of depends on how you want to construct the trick based on the traits and what exactly it is you're wanting your trick to be. And so say, Hunker is, doing something with, something musical, and like for his first part of his trick, he's doing some kind of musical performance, and he rolls performance for that one. And then the next part of his trick, he's involving some kind of magical thing, some spell that he casts for flair. We roll for that, like a maybe like a cast roll for the spell, things like that. So it just kind of goes through those three actions like that, and it's up to you how you want those to be. So the rolls are at your discretion in terms of the checks. So pick stuff you're good at, pick stuff you want bonuses from your traits.
Grotus is going to do his usual aerial dive into a very narrow pool of water. So that's acrobatic, water, so +1 for his acrobatics, +1 for the athletics. And then, do I have good intimidation? Probably not. Intimidate, surprisingly enough. And then musical aspect of that.
Okay.
It's a performance check. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see what.
He'll come out and fart himself a tune, or burp a tune, after drinking his way out of the fluid container he dives into.
Okay. I'll just getting the order of people here. So Maz is at first, and then Honker. It's just not wanting to roll a different dice. And then Braz, and then Grotus. Okay, so Maz, then Honker, then Braz, then Grotus. So.
No. Okay.
So what are you thinking for your trick, Maz?
I mean, Maz's main trick has been like dancing and like throwing the hoops.
Okay.
Sometimes they're on fire. So, I mean, and you said I can have 3 traits.
Yep.
3 checks.
Yep, 3 traits, 3 checks. So whichever 3 things you want bonuses for, just note them down. It's like in your notes page, I guess. And we'll apply those for your checks if you're doing a check that involves those. Which would be smart to do, since that's what they're for. Yeah, feel free to take a moment to look over the list for everybody to get their tricks together. I know, not just you, for everybody. Because your time will come. Let me see here. Let's see if I can find. Let's do. Here we go. This could be performance music. I'm sure Riz, of course, is very familiar, but pretty much all of like a lot of the music that I've done in recent sessions, this is all stuff from Final Fantasy 12. It has such a great OST.
I was wondering why it sounded so familiar.
Yeah, I've just got like a big playlist of the whole OST up here and just been trying to find stuff that works-ish.
There you go.
Plus, it's nice since generally, like, a lot of video game music isn't going to get, like, auto-muted. Because otherwise,
Yeah.
there'd be so much game stuff on YouTube that would just be muted all the time from all the people doing, like, Let's Plays. So that's usually a pretty safe
I
bet.
forgot about that because that's got to be pretty difficult, especially with AI, like, being able to autoplay shit so much faster and everything. It's a pain in the dick, huh?
Oh, yeah. Like, I haven't really run into too many troubles since a lot of the stuff, like I said, a lot of the stuff I've done has all been like either Final Fantasy music, and then I have a few other things that I have that are things I just grabbed from YouTube. Like some of the other like desert music stuff was just like already like, TTRPG, desert ambience music, whatever. That stuff usually doesn't tend to have problems, so.
Fair.
How's it coming over there, Mons?
Well, I picked my traits and I picked my checks.
Okay. All right. Well, if you have those, and then you'll just need to describe what we're doing. So, Maz, your performance is up first here in the Red Circus. And, just to kind of paint the picture here, you can kind of see the structure, the numbered 4 on the map there. It's like a big oval bowl of a kind of an amphitheater here, built out of stone. There's multiple tiers of seats. It's like a giant kind of oblong coliseum structure, and the seats are quite full. There's hundreds of seats here. A wide array of attendees have come to see, and so you step out into the arena here. And there's been kind of a stage area set up. When you guys were here earlier for the gladiatorial stuff, there wasn't anything really in the arena aside from sand and maybe random weapons and things. But that's been cleared away, and there are some some rings and a little stage. And Zavizik kind of gives you a nod, and you step out to begin your trick. So what's the first part of your trick here? What check are we doing? What are you doing?
So the first part of my trick is that I am so like in the middle of the oval. There like Maz's 2 bladed hoops are sitting there.
Okay.
And she walks out, but she has her her Storm Herald sword at her hip.
Okay.
And so she's going to walk out and stab the sword into the ground, and perch on it with her bladed hoops. And oh wait, no, I'm doing this out of order. She picks up her bladed hoops and starts dancing.
Okay. And what is the check you're wanting to do for this part?
And tossing the hoops as she dances. So this is going to be an athletics check.
Okay.
It's been so long since I've actually had to come up with a routine.
Yeah, you're usually doing like the lights and
Right.
security.
Yeah.
Okay. And were there any modifiers to that from traits you had chosen?
No.
Okay. All right. So you begin your dance here, and you're picking up your hoops, you're whirling them around, and you feel like a little out of practice. Like you said, it's been a while since you've kind of come up with a routine. You're usually trying to do kind of sideline circus stuff. Haven't really been in the spotlight in a while. And the first part of this trick here doesn't quite land the best. Like it just it doesn't quite make the mark. It feels a little weak. But you decide to soldier on. What are you doing for the next part of your act here?
So after her dance, she's going to stab Storm Herald into the ground and get on top and balance herself on the sword hilt and
Okay.
juggle her hoops.
Okay. And what are we rolling for this one?
Acrobatics.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I have a +1.
Okie doke.
Jesus Christ.
Oof.
Can I hero point that?
Yeah, you can hero point that.
Just watch, I roll a nat 1.
Okay. All right. So with that,
So it's 38.
38. Yep. So you begin doing this juggling routine with the hoops, and things are going pretty well. You're getting these up in the air. You're doing some kind of interesting maneuvers, catching them successfully. The crowd's getting into it. You've gotten their attention kind of picked back up here for this part. How do you want to close out your act?
Okay. So the last part of her act is she's juggling, right?
Okay.
Maz is a pretty small goblin. She's going to toss both hoops in the air with dexterity that only practice can give you, knowing that the hoops as they fall are going to be flat, and she's going to put her arms up so that they fall around her, collapsing onto the ground under her and around Storm Herald, and as they fall, she's going to do a little flip off of Storm Herald, take it out of the ground, hold it up, and call forth a thunder bolt.
Okay. Are we doing like an
And
attack
she's
roll
going
for that
to
one? Or?
use intimidation.
Oh, intimidation. Okay. Does this one have any bonuses?
I believe it's a +1.
+1. Okay. Go ahead and roll for intimidation.
Yes.
All right. So for your ending of your act here, you reach and grab your sword and go to call Storm Herald, and you it doesn't quite go off as great as you had hoped, partially because this place does have a roof over it, and so you hear the crackling of the lightning outside, and it does make some noise, but it's not quite as spectacular as you would have thought, because it's not really visible. You just get the sound, so it doesn't quite.
Storm Herald doesn't need an open sky.
Well, I mean, it still casts. You're just inside an amphitheater right now. So it casts outside. It doesn't go quite as planned. So that one unfortunately did not quite pass either. It's okay. You're rusty.
Can I get a pity point?
A pity.
Roz will give you a pity pickle.
A pity pickle.
She'll take it.
Okay, so let's see. So you finish your act out here, and there is some applause, but it's not quite a resounding hit. It doesn't quite land, but I mean, you guys are new here. You're getting used to the territory, and getting back into the swing of things here tonight. So
They're like, what the fuck is thunder?
yeah, what is this? So Maz, you end your act, and next up I believe was Honker. Yeah, Honker.
Honker, avenge me!
Okay, so for the first part of our act, we Skinthia dances us in,
Okay.
and we
Like
all
tap dance?
What kind of dance?
Yeah,
What kind of dance is
yeah,
she
she
doing?
like tap dances, and then we all she opens multiple orifices,
Beautiful.
and Honker and the entourage like climb out or like fall and jump as she's dancing around us. So it always looks like we're gonna get stepped on, but we always we manage to dodge out of the way.
Okay.
And I believe that'd be an acrobatics challenge
Okay.
for Honker.
And do any of the traits that you've chosen modify this at all?
For that one, I think that no, not really. No modifications. That's terrible. Honker definitely knows to use his 0 point there.
Okay.
Because he hates failing. He stumbled a couple times and then does a little better.
All right. So you stumble a bit at first with this beginning of your trick, and try to reorient yourself. But even with that, it's still a little short. It's kind of a tough crowd down here at the bottom of the world, with a bunch of these people are enslaved, various things like that. So
It's really hard to pack
yeah.
up an enslaved group. I get it.
Yeah, it doesn't quite land for that first bit there.
So for the second bit, we perform a musical composition that we've been working on,
Okay.
and we're busting it out for the first time here. So, Skinthia kneels down, and we all jump on top of her, the whole entourage, and then we bend over as Honker does, and it's a song that we've been working on, but it's all just screaming, but we each have our tones, so
Okay.
it's one or two or three people screaming at a time, but we make a song out of it.
Interesting.
That'd be musical for sure. That's got a musical trait.
All right. What are we rolling for this? Just a performance for that one?
Oh yeah, most definitely performance on that one.
Okay. Nice. All right. So this seems to be more the speed of things down here. The discordant screaming music works pretty well. There is generally a lot of screaming going on around Shrine. But this is an interesting interpretation with the musical aspect of the screaming. This is perhaps something they haven't really quite considered before. That lands pretty well. What are you finishing your act out with here?
The last bit would be a bunch of sleight of hand, so juggling but different items, and we're kind of passing it between each other. is going to be a little bit of a stretch here, maybe, but like, okay, so like we're doing these like, pulling things out of our, pulling the handkerchiefs out of our mouths and all of that.
Right.
And my thought is it would be like a thievery check because it's a bunch of complex like hand movement
Sure. That makes
we're
sense.
doing.
Go ahead and do that.
All right.
Nice. All right. So you begin these elaborate hand movements and sleight of hand with you and the entourage. And it's kind of a mesmerizing experience as you're all moving around, and you all have your eerie faces going on while you're doing all this. It's especially after the screaming music. It just kind of adds to the experience there. That also lands really well. Your act overall was a success. You feel pretty good about that. And you finish up your act. There's quite a good bit of applause. People seem to have taken notice of you there, Honker, and you successfully finish there and step down out of the arena. Which next up was Braz was up next for their performance.
Alrighty. Me and Scorch will step into the center and light my batons, and then we do kind of a silly majorette type of performance, like baton twirling, marching, just kind of crazy movements. And Scorch just kind of being silly, kind of puppy-like. So I'm gonna go with acrobatics for that, which gives me a +1.
Okay. Oof.
I'm gonna hero point that.
All right, Bob, go ahead.
Man, we are not doing hot.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, +1, then yeah, it would be 44.
All right. So you for a moment there you feel a little uneven, but then you catch yourself, and the baton and the twirling, and it's all coming together. You're moving around this the sandy floor of this arena here with Scorch. And Scorch is getting into it, and people seem to be enjoying that he's a big dire wolf in a silly hat. It seems to be working pretty well. Things are going good so far. What is your next part of your trick?
Bald.
I know, if only they knew.
No, they don't need to know. There's a lot of people aren't. Okay, so then the second part, I kind of continue with like the baton twirling, but Scorch acts like he's trying to like bite it out of my hand, and I pretend like it's really annoying, and he keeps doing it and doing it, and then he kind of goes away to the other side, and I pretend like I'm mad, and I throw the fireball at him, and he tries to like catch it in his mouth. So we're gonna go with intimidation on that one. And no bonuses on that one.
All right. So with that intimidation, that one unfortunately just does not land at all. You hear some boos and some jeers from the audience at this stage of your performance here as you move into the third act.
Okay, and so for the third act, I'm gonna climb on Scorch's back and continue with the baton twirling, and he's gonna kind of run around the arena almost like a horse during like a barrel race. And
Okay.
I think we'll go with athletics for that one. And no bonus for that. Well, damn.
Damn. All
Been
right.
a long time since I've done a trick.
It has been indeed. So Braz here, you had seen your sibling have some trouble earlier, and you're kind of feeling in the same boat here. This last part of your trick just kind of continues the downward trend from the second bit. And overall, your performance kind of ends with a kaput. Like I said, there are some jeers and some hecklers from the audience here. Didn't quite go off successfully there. So that brings us to Grotus here for our last performance of the moment. Oh, if you said something, you're muted. So I'm not sure what you're doing. But it was successful, whatever it was. So once we can hear you, tell us about it.
Oh, darn. Yes. He does a series of cartwheels and flips and then starts running up a tent pole or a wall. And it's aerial and it's acrobatic. So he gets +1 to his acrobatics check to get very, very high up and impress people with how he does such.
All right.
And then the next part of the trick is that's why it's an acrobatics expert +1, because it's got the aerial trait. The next thing is going to be athletically diving from that into a shallow pool and just splash in such a way just to not break all of his bones.
Probably a good plan.
And that is water, so he's rolling the athletics with a +1.
Okay. Nice. All right. Yeah, the crowd is loving this. Like so far, this act is going great.
Oh yeah, runs up 60 feet off a pole and something in the air.
They might be.
One of the two.
And then this last part is musical, so he's gonna have to do some more backflips and stuff and get punched in the stomach to make him belch a tune with the stuff, the water or the beer that he just had to drink his way out of.
Gotcha. All right.
Diving in. So that's musical. That makes it a performance check. Hey-oh.
All right. Nice. Just squeezes in there as a success. Overall, great act. People are cheering. People are clapping. You feel that you got some recognition out of this as you finish up your performance here. Like these performances have been happening over the course of a week here, and at the end of the week, you're approached by Zavzek here, and he has a small pouch along with him here, and he says, "Well, thank you all for the wonderful performances this week. Here, of course, is your cut." And he hands this bag over to you here, and it contains...
Witnessing this, Honker flips out. He's excited. He's like, wait, you pay your circus people?
Well, I did promise you riches and fame, did I not?
Well, I would have done it for just some health care. That's what I've convinced everybody else to do it for us. But okay.
All right, so you take a look in this bag, and it seems to contain 900 gold pieces.
Dang.
Man, these zombinos are just full of money.
It seems to be that way, yeah.
Better than being full of beans.
Some of them might be.
Let's see.
Maz says she would rather be full of beans.
So you finish out the week here, feeling like you got some reputation, but not a lot so far. What else are we wanting to check out here in town?
Did you say there was like a market area?
Yeah, there is the Antiquities Quarter.
Okay, I'm not looking for anything in particular, but let's go check it out.
Okay. All right. So you guys, it's a new week, and you guys are exploring town a bit, and you head. So on the map here, this is number 6, just to the west of the big pyramid here. So in this antiquities quarter here, you find many small shops that are buying and selling pretty much anything imaginable, including some things that look like they may have had questionable origins. But you see, let's see here. It seems that if you have anything interesting to sell, like you hear overhear a few conversations as you're walking around and hear that they seem interested, especially in stuff from the surface, because we're here down at the bottom of the world in a giant cavern. They do get a lot of travelers through here, but stuff from the surface is maybe not seen as often. So places might pay a pretty penny for things like that if you have things you want to sell. And of course, there's plenty of interesting things around to buy. Throwing some money around might get some attention as well. In either direction.
I was just curious if any of them have seen a silk pillow before, because she has extras.
Ooh, that's a good point. Let's see.
Well, even if they have, I mean, who doesn't want a silk pillow? That's nice.
I know, right? So,
Her silk pillows have been in the bag of holding, so they're cool on both sides.
Oh, plus. They might smell slightly of cheese, though.
So
look, we don't have to get into what they smell like.
let's see. Silk pillows. So you find a shop here that is named Bean and Gone. And
Beans.
and you head inside, and despite the name of the shop, you don't see anything. You don't see any beans about, but you do see a kind of elderly Darrow shopkeeper behind a desk in here, and he sees you all enter, and he says, "Hello, welcome to Bean and Gone. How can I assist you? Here buying? Here selling? You don't seem to be around these parts. Have anything interesting from the surface? Pay a pretty penny for goods such as these. I am Bean, by the way. Pleasure to make your acquaintance."
Oh my god, your name is so cool. I love beans.
Well, I am not as edible as I sound.
It's okay.
Everything's
I still like
edible.
your name.
Go ahead and bitch about it.
So she's gonna dig around in the bag of holding and start with taking out a couple silk pillows and be like, I don't know what you guys have and have not gotten down here, but I have these and they're really comfy.
How many of these silk pillows do you have?
Oh god, I gotta check my inventory.
just have like an entire several beds set of pillows. Just
I forgot. Where did you get all those?
I raided them from somewhere.
yeah, I think they were. I feel like they might have been taken from Mistress Dusklight's place.
I currently have 5 because I gave one to the satyr when we buried him.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Okay, so 5 silk pillows. So
Well, I'll sell him 4. I want to keep one.
you want to keep one. Okay, so you pull 4 out of the bag of holding here, and
Yep.
set these up on the desk. And Bean is taking a look over these here. It says, "Ooh, these are fine fabrics. These fine silks. We don't get too many of this, especially of this color down here. Yes, these are quite nice. I would certainly be willing to pay you, say, 150 gold pieces per pillow."
Sold.
All right, so you give him those pillows here.
I probably have more I can sell him. I'm trying to find what all we got.
I was looking through my inventory. I don't even know when or where I got this, but I have no use for it. I have an amethyst necklace that I'll pull out and show him.
Okay.
You said those were 150 each.
Yep, 150 each. I'm putting all the gold on the party sheet, so I'll get
Oh,
that
okay.
sorted out.
So I'll just update my inventory for the pillows then. Works.
Let's see. Amethysts. Okay, so he takes a look over at your necklace here and says, "Well, this is a very fine necklace, but we do see quite a bit of jewelry around here. For something like this, I could offer, perhaps 50 GP."
Good enough.
All right. Or anything else you guys are wanting to try to sell to Bean here?
Do we have
Yeah.
anything sitting in the party sheet?
That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, there is a decent bit of stuff in there.
Would you like to buy the skins of my enemies? Never mind.
We have some rare incense.
Okay. Yeah, that could be certainly worth something.
I don't know what half this shit is.
It's just all been haphazardly just tossed into the bag of
Look,
holding.
we raid everything we can.
No matter what it is, it might be useful later.
Yeah, it might.
Where did we get a gem-studded dinosaur skull?
I think from here.
The dinosaur skull? No, I believe that was from. Oh wait, no, that might have been from Zulkandar. That might have been in
Yeah,
there.
we have a lot of random stuff from Zulkandar.
Yeah, I think a good number of this stuff was things you yoinked out of the big old pyramid.
Yeah, I
you guys
mean,
were
I
just
would
in.
say, looking at the party sheet, if we're trying to sell stuff that they wouldn't have seen down here, the rare incense is definitely a good one to do. I don't know, because like if he's seen a lot of jewelry, I don't know if this would be of interest, but I also have a flying fish golden statuette.
Okay, I mean that's a little statue, not jewelry, so yeah, possibly. I'll take a look at it. Let's see. So the rare incense, if we're selling, what do we got? One of those, yeah. So one rare incense. Plants are a little hard to come by down here. So he would buy that for 200 GP instead of its asking price in there.
Cool. I can't say we really have much use for that.
You guys are gonna stink. gonna be
I mean,
stinky.
I mean,
don't-
I'm not
I
sure
think
we
we've
take a lot of
already-
baths anyway.
I think
That's fair.
we figured out last session that none of us bathe.
You
I feel
know,
like we've discussed that a few times.
I feel like we have, yeah. Is the statuette, was that in your inventory, Mons, or was
It's
that?
in my inventory. Yeah, if you want to, it says in the info. It says the price is 11 GP.
11 GP? Okay, for the statuette, I think he would probably just buy that for 11 GP. They have plenty of
Maz says
decor
that
type
she
stuff.
will keep it then
Oh, okay.
because she likes it, but she was gonna share it if he liked it.
I think none of us bathe, but it wasn't. I'm pretty sure we established that Grotus, when he returns after missing several sessions, he just emerges from a nearby body of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think the only time we ever get washed is when we have to go through bodies of water.
I'm sure that's...
Yes, yeah.
I'm sure
All
that
the
works
times
out.
we've waded
because Honker
through.
floats on the surface.
Which I think the last time would have been, you know, when you went across that lake in the Verdant Valley, you know, several hundred miles away.
Sounds right.
What does Bean have
Okay.
for sale in here?
Let's see. What does Bean have for sale?
Do you have any skins of sentient beings? My carriage needs them for reasons.
My carriage needs more skin.
Let's see. So he kind of looks you over for a moment there, Honker, and says, "Well, I don't have anything like that here, but I mean, you could certainly find anything in the antiquities quarter. Goodness knows, with all the slaves that pass through here, there's probably some skins that have come for sale. Perhaps we might want to check out the Bleeding Tome. Might have something in that vein." Yeah, there is immoral and illegal stuff for sale down here.
Hold on. How dare you call anything immoral? You give us a world, you don't get to declare morality.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah, it seems like that can be found elsewhere.
Yeah, guy doesn't need to finish his sentence. Like, Honker sprints out the door while the rest of the team here is chatting with this guy. Like, he's gone, like, realizing he can purchase skins. He's got a platinum piece in each hand, and he's booking it.
Oh, man.
I'm not sure if we should be concerned about that or not.
He'll be fine.
All right, so
I don't want to stymie the child's interest.
So, like, what is he gonna do?
So stymie the child. Oh my god. All right, so Honker, you're running out into the street here, and you're looking around. You're seeing the various shops, and you do see one labeled the Bleeding Tome. And you head inside, and you see in here that this place seems to have, you know, a lot of books, as the name would suggest. Many of the books do seem to be bound in skins of various kinds. You know, perhaps the proprietor would know of a source there, but you look around and you do see, you know, standing over by one of the shelves is a, let's see here, who's this guy? This is... So you see a kind of gaunt, pale humanoid here, and their eyes are kind of a misty white. and they are kind of wearing these kind of a loose robe and wraps of sorts on their hands, and they're filing some books away here. And they see you come in, and they say, "Ah, yes, welcome to the Bleeding Tome. What can I interest you in today?"
Well, I was told that there was skins here I could buy.
Ah, you a bookmaker yourself, perhaps?
Oh, I just want to be a real boy.
Ah, interesting. Well, I won't pry. I mean, goodness knows the interesting things that people get up to, but I'm not one to judge. And so he kind of motions towards you here and kind of motions for you to follow him. And he kind of moves through a door and into another part of the store here. And back here, you see there's like a work table of sorts, and you can see some, books here that are in various, processes of being bound. And you also see there is an open crate, kind of a large open crate at one end of the work table here. And you peer inside, and it does appear to contain a variety of skins, just whole skins of various types. There's humans, there's goblins, there's drow, there's tieflings. It's pretty grotesque, obviously. But yeah, it's just like this pile of skinned folks. And you can see on the work table here, there was one that's been kind of cut up into nicer squares and other shapes for the bookbinding that this gentleman had been working on. He says, "Well, if there's any that are of interest to your needs, take a look through, and well, we can discuss what it would work out to be depending on the size. Anything in particular you're looking for?"
Well, I was gonna take it to a tailor and see if I can make a suit. So,
Ah, fashion statement. Interesting.
yeah, fashion statement. Hunker has no idea what that means. And he just agrees that that's what he's doing. And he picks out like a goblin one, or like multiples. He's not a big guy, so like he's trying to make a bodysuit. So he gets goblin ones and human ones.
Hmm. Yeah, to fit in with Miles and Bras, right? I'm sure they'll be fine with this.
In Hawker's mind, 100%.
Makes sense.
He is fully confident that if he becomes even more like them, they will like him more.
Oh boy. I'm gonna say
Any skin-bound tomes that have tattoos should be prioritized to represent the whole crew.
Yeah, he would be like probably, especially with Grotus having a bunch of tattoos, he'd be like looking for stuff like that.
All right.
Although with Honker's, like, I don't remember if it's a feat or whatever, where like people just aren't scared of him, no matter what he says or does. Would Maz and Braz actually be able to care?
I feel like
You
at
could
this
care,
point, we
but like
don't.
it's multiple feats that basically make it so that you just can't like me less. So like I interpret that as you
Oh.
could get mad, probably, but like
Okay, so we
it's
can
one
be
of those
like,
where
man,
you're
that's
mad at the
weird,
dumb
but cool too,
child.
bro.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't even have to compliment it. You could be like, "Oh, I really hate that," but like, God, you look cute in that thing, or something. Like I don't know.
You don't have to compliment him, but do.
Yeah.
This deeply offends me to my core, but it looks great.
Even though it doesn't, because you know, we all know Honker's going to get distracted on the way to the tailor and then just sit down and do it himself.
Right.
One sleeve's gonna be longer than the other.
All right, so Honker, you do find a suitable potential goblin suit in this crate of skinned beings in a sketchy bookshop. And it's whoever this belonged to before, that does seem like down one of the arms they have some interesting kind of geometric tattoos of sorts. Probably meant something on their tribe or culture. We'll never know. But it seems a decent size. There's enough here that you feel like you could get it around yourself, and yeah. So you're kind of looking expectantly at this one here that you've found, and the gentleman with the cloudy white eyes at the bookshop here says, "Ah, yes, I can see that would fit nicely with a little work, if that's what you're going for. I would say for one of that size, 500 gold pieces for one of that size would probably be enough."
Yeah, Honker's got no problem paying that. He takes it all 500 out, happily gives it to him, and tucks this in his bag.
All right. So
Because if you're going to show somebody a new suit, it's best to do it while they're sleeping and you put it on and stand over them.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
And it's a
man.
surprise.
Big reveal.
Oh boy. So the gentleman at the shop here, kind of eagerly takes your coin here, and he seems pretty elated by one having someone interesting in the shop, and one on the darker side of things, and so willing to open their coin purse. They seem pretty pleased about this. And as you stuff this in your bag and you're heading out, they're kind of making a little conversation, and they're like, "So how long are you in town for? Are there any other services you need? Anything else? You could of course come right back here. We'll be here. I'm sure we'll have more options if you need them. There's always a steady flow
keep
in the
an
city."
eye out. If you find like this one's a good size for me, but if you see I got a bunch of friends, so if somebody gets a bunch of goblin children in, let me know.
The goblin
This
is
is
just wearing
this is gonna be buck wild.
Oh boy. All right, so Honker, you stride out of the store here and then go to make your way back to the rest of the crew here. So the rest of you here, was there anything else that you were wanting to sell, or anything else that you were wanting to look for here in this part of town? Yeah, I was getting up a list here. Where did I?
I wasn't looking for anything in particular. I was just kind of curious what kind of stuff they had.
Let's see. What's this referencing? What's this here? So there are, there's quite a few shops with, all sorts of interesting items. You can take a look around, and, if there's any interesting, magical items and stuff like that, we can roll one up in that regard to toss coin into. Let's see.
Got any other shop names? Maybe that'll help me pick one.
Yeah, here. Let me get some shop names up here. Do.
I've been working on this shop called Meow.
Meow.
Run by cats. There's a bunch of weird rules about cats. Magical Emporium of Wondrousness. Meow.
That's great.
That is pretty great. So, let's see. So you do see a shop named, let's see. You see a place called the Waving Hand Trade Post, and the sign outside appears to have like an actual skeletal hand as part of the sign. You see a, let's see. You see a place called the Brass Bomb, which appears to have, you know, various items and weapony type things from the racks that you see inside of it here. The trade post one is kind of a general anything type place. And you see a place that is named the Grim Search, which appears to be some kind of magical type shop, you know, scrolls and that sort of things.
Okay, I know where I want to go and what I'm looking for.
Okay. What do you
I
think?
want to go to the kind of general store, and I want to find the most touristy item they have.
Perfect.
All right. Let's see.
I hope it's just ridiculous.
Let's see. Seeing if I can see something in this list that would kind of fit that here. So
It's like a
you find what looks like a kind of a small stone scale replica of like the big main period in the center of Shrine, and it's like been carved out of a nice piece of like black marble, and there's been like little gold tooling that has been done on it, like making the peak of it. You know, it's got like kind of a golden cap on it, and you know, it's got all these kind of intricate carvings in the sides of the pyramid. Um, you know, seems like a little shrine memento of sorts. Looks like it would set you back about 10 GP. It's not too expensive.
Done.
But it seems pretty touristy to you. All right, and he happily takes your 10 GP here and wraps up this little statuette of the pyramid for you. Is there anything else you're looking for here in the shop, or anything you want to sell?
Got any cool hats?
Cool hats. Let's see.
You have Maz's attention.
I know. If we can find you a cool hat, Bros will buy you a hat.
Fuck yeah.
Let's see. So you do find in the shop here a very interesting looking hat. It appears to be it's in a form that you feel like you haven't really seen too much of. Like you've seen a little bit in your circus travels, but it's a little less common. It's a very colorful kind of turban type hat, and the cloth is kind of woven out of a number of different colors, making up the turban. So it's kind of a bright array of colors here. And in addition to it having, this turban top, like typically with a turban it just comes down and like there's no like brim or anything on it. But this one has a little bit of a brim, which looks a little funky, and the brim is like adorned with various symbols that appear to have been embroidered into the fabric. And the proprietor of the waving hand trade bows here looks over at you and says, "Ah, I see you're eyeing the mage's hat there. It has a few built-in casts within it that have been woven into its fabric. Quite an interesting and, might I say, stylish find."
Tell me more.
So, the mage's hat, let's see, he picks up the hat here to kind of look it over a little bit and kind of looks at the runes. And he says, "Ah, yes, right. This one here is imbued with the spell Summon Elemental. Let's see." And he kind of turns it over and examines the runes a bit more. Looks like this one can summon some decently powerful elementals. You'd have to wear the hat for a bit and kind of attune to it, but once you're used to it, you should be able to cast it at least once a day, I believe.
How much?
For this one, this is a pretty nice hat, so this one would be 500.
No problem. And she plops it on Maz's head.
Maz just has like the biggest smile she's ever smiled in her whole life.
So this hat, let me see if this item's actually in here, or if I'd have to build. Oh, nope, I think it's right here. Ah, yes, here it is. Put this in the party sheet. All right, so you look in the party sheet. Where did it drop it? It's the Hat of the Magi, Greater Hat of the Magi. And so that has the spell Summon Elemental woven into it. And it allows you to cast Summon Elemental at, let's see, a 4th level summon. So these would be things like, well, here, let me see. Let me take a look at these and see which one of these is in this. Let's see. Okay. Here's some interesting summons here. Let me roll myself a dice here. Let's see which one of these we get.
You're an interesting. Uh-oh.
You tell him.
A 2. Okay, so this hat is woven with a summon elemental of an earthen destroyer, which is it summons an earth elemental that is in kind of the crude likeness of like a charging warhorse and a rocky knight wielding a lance made of stone. Like the whole thing is made out of like earth.
I was hoping you were going to say Chuck Norris, but the way you described it, Chuck Norris. I like it.
Let's see, does this have, let me see if this thing is creatures in the bestiary I have here. Let's see. Earthen. No, okay. I'll have to figure this out here and build this. Let me note.
Glad I could make some work for you.
Let's see. Where'd that go? Oz, you grabbed it. Let me open that up, and I'm gonna write in there on its notes that that's what it summons.
That's right. I made it harder for you. I took it while you were trying to figure it out.
Alright, summon elemental. Earthen destroyer. Let's see. So it looks like this thing can, so it has like its stone lance that it gets summoned with. It can attack with the lance, it can attack with, it can like make the earthen horse that it's on like melee with its hooves. And it can move through earthen matter. So like it can burrow and then move through the earth and pop up somewhere else. It can, move and strike like with a charge. It can do like a lance charge. It can also trample or attempt to trample creatures. But yeah, seems like it's got some interesting uses there. So if we do summon that at some point, we'll pull that page up and figure out whatever rolls need to be done for it if it's in a fight. All right.
Big hat.
It is a pretty sick hat. Any other market district things that you guys wish to do? You are hearing, after you buy this hat, like you guys are going around in the market district, and every once in a while you kind of catch a whisper. People seem to be talking about some big spenders that they heard are around.
Pretty cool.
Possible patrons.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, all they know is that they've heard that there are some travelers who've been throwing some coin around, or offloading rare things. This seems to be getting you notoriety in a different way, from the performances. There's various ways to get notoriety around here in Shrine, and this is another way to do it. Is monies.
Having the
by buying my
economic
sister hat.
impact that an adventuring party has on town.
Mm-hmm. Yep. These are all activities that contribute towards influence gaining.
I imagine that in
Well-
fantasy cities, that like a big party returning with a huge party sheet of loot is like a GDP defining event for the season.
I mean, at least from the stuff that you've seen around here, and the various, rare and odd and illegal items, it seems like there's quite a bit of money that goes around here, anyways. Like a lot of this stuff isn't very cheap, but it does seem like there's also a lot of money going around. I mean, you guys did these circus performances and had quite a payout from that. These drow and other things down here, they've been around for thousands and thousands of years, so there's a lot of old money around.
They got any good potion shops?
Sure. Yeah. I would say the Grim Search, which has kind of magical items and stuff, would also have some potions. We can take a look and see what we got in there. Let's see.
Something wild and interesting.
Sure.
Expensive.
Wild, interesting, and expensive. Okay, so in terms of interesting potions, let's see. What does this do? Okay, so here's a few things that you find potion-wise that seem interesting here. You find a potion of Quicksilver Mutagen, which they describe to you as this is a potion that when drunk you will become swifter for a time. But it does have a downside in that you become a little more fragile while its effects are going on.
Oh my
So
god, they just sold us speed.
you do see that as an option. You also find an kind of interesting potion. This one's in a container. The glass container seems to be carved in the shape of, kind of a Zolgath looking shape, just kind of stylized. And this has kind of a watery, minty green color to it. And they describe this as being a vial of green gut, which is something that can be used to induce vomiting. And as you're kind of looking this over, the shopkeeper, kind of sees you looking at it and says, this is very useful to have around the many, I'm sure you've encountered the worms that are out in the sand in your travels to get here to Strain. If one of them ever eats you, just pour some of this in their gut, and they will be forced to expunge you. It can save you from a horrible death.
So, Super Monster Epicac?
Yeah, Super Monster Epicac, and it seems like it does some damage as well. And you could also drink it yourself if you really felt like doing that. But yeah, it is.
If you're
Epicac.
a masochist.
Yeah, some serious Epicac.
Okay.
Let's see what else we got. We also
I'll take that and the Dark Elf Speed.
Oh, there's more. There's more.
Oh.
Okay.
So wait, there's more.
There's more. Let's see. We have an energy breath potion, which is a distilled, dangerous spell, and when you chug this, it allows you to cast energy breath, which does let's see, this is electric. So it's a 30-foot line. So you basically just straight out in front of you, a 30-foot line, energy breath. Does a pretty decent bit of damage, it sounds like. And it lasts... It lasts for an hour when you drink it. And so, like, when you have this within you, there's a roll you have to do for how many rounds in between that you can do it. But you'd be able to do some energy laser breath with that.
Yeah, I want that.
And The last thing you notice here in this shop is a vial of ink, it looks like. And it is kind of a syrupy consistency. And the shopkeeper describes this as, this is Dr. Ushernaut's astonishing ink. He traveled through here many years ago. He was an interesting inventor, and this was made from some of the liquid that came out of his machines. And when you write a question on a piece of paper with the ink, it will scrawl over the paper, answering with knowledge that it can draw from the source that this came from. His engine was like a collector of knowledge in his travels, and if it knew something, it could answer it. So it may not know everything, but you have a Google search ink.
Interesting.
Okay. So we can ask chat.
Yes, chat. Yeah, does not necessarily have knowledge of everything, but it looks like you have a few uses of the ink before you use it all up. But it can call back to its source, wherever this engine that it came from is at, and perhaps it will know something. So in terms of prices on these things, let's see. So the Quicksilver mutagen would cost 300 GP. The Green Gut Ipecac, that one he's charging a good bit for, since that can be a life or death save from a purple worm out in the sands. That one he wants an even grand for. The energy breath, he wants 400 for that one. And then the ink one is quite rare. That one he actually wants 2,000.
Yeah. We got money. We'll buy it all.
Do we?
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have money for all those? Let's see.
If not,
I
I
do.
have a
Everybody
crap
do.
ton I
Oh,
can
yeah,
lend
you
ya.
do. You have like 19,000 GP at this point. Okay, yeah,
Not to mention the platinum that we've got on us.
That's
At least
true.
I have some.
That's true. All
There's you.
Yeah, I'm carrying 12 platinum and 5,000 gold.
right. So let me write all this stuff down here. So let's see.
We're here to kick ass and fuck up the economy. So Coliseum after this, right?
I mean, we're doing more for the economy than most politicians, so.
All right, let me just write these down. I think all of these I'll have to add in manually. Let's see, Green Gut, Energy Breath, Potion, Dr. Ushernaut's Astonishing Ink. All right, so with all of that, if everyone subtracts 1,850 GP, then that evens out for the cost of all four of those items there.
1,100 and
1,850. So subtract that from your.
1,850.
I didn't come here to do math.
so with that amount, though, let's see. Puts us up to... Okay.
I'm sorry. One more time, the amount.
1,850.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I did it.
So, you guys are doing all this shopping here, and as you go to leave the Grim Search here, you see coming in to the shop a kind of lanky drow in kind of a fine suit. Let's get you a picture of him here. So he comes into the shop and kind of sees you gathering up the bit of your purchase here, and he says, "Ah, you must be the ones that I've been hearing so much about in the district here, Lavikar."
Because of our really cool show?
Well, I can't say I've heard much about the show, but I've heard that you've been doing quite a bit of business around the area. Lavikar Shrain, by the way. He extends his hand in your direction for whoever decides to go for it.
Honker holds his hand out and says, "Pleasure for you to meet me."
Yes, likewise. Well, what
No.
brings you to Shrain? What business brings you here? You've been patronizing our many shops here, and we're quite glad to have such, well, big spending travelers. It's quite nice.
Yeah, we just thought we'd come and swap the fine wares of town, enjoy the fat and the fruit of the land.
What brings you down here to Shrain? It's a bit of a far distance for folks such as yourself.
Can I do some kind of vibe check on this dude?
Sure. Let's do... society.
We live in a society.
We do.
So the read that you get off of this guy, like he seems well-to-do, and he has a drow down here in the drow city, and you don't get much of a vibe off of him. He just seems to be a business man, and intrigued at the amount of business that you are doing down here.
This is probably like one of the first drow who's talked directly to us.
That is
I guess
true.
that's the one that handed it. We've mostly been dealing with Darrow and slaves or indentured folk, right?
He just likes us for our money.
Well, we did the money and we rocked the house. So when he asked us what we're doing here, like we're traveling entertainers, we come to do all that good stuff. The vibe I'm getting from him is that he's the kind of guy who's going to get us into the inner city.
Yeah, you can get that. You also, just to kind of refresh your memories of things here. So like the reason that you came to Shrain at all is this Zalin Shrain, who was evidently doing research back at Zulkandur and came back here with this orb, and that's who you're looking for here, to try to get to meet or get in contact with this person and figure out what happened with that. When you guys first came into town, you had mentioned Zalin Shrain at the gates, because there was the gatekeeper guy who was kind of welcoming you into town. And he had mentioned that Zalin, he's like, oh yeah, he's like he's the mummy in the high tower. You can see it. And there was like a very kind of odd shaped tower in one of the districts of town that he had pointed at. And he mentioned that you probably wouldn't get anywhere close to it since it's in the Forbidden District and you need official permission to get there. Otherwise, they would attack intruders on sight in that part of town. So that is your kind of impetus for being here and trying to get influence at all. You'd also had heard from the innkeeper at the Aching Bones, Hammenkar, that the people who kind of generally run things around town, if you're interested in trying to get to that part of town, you need to have some kind of official business, and for that you would need to meet with those in charge in the big central pyramid. And he had mentioned that their names were Zira and Narinda, were the two to talk to there. So that'll give you some.
That's the names I was trying to think of, the ladies we wanted to meet.
Yep, yeah. So that gives you some information on the why you're here, who you're looking for, and who you're trying to get in contact with. So things to talk about with people.
Tell them everything, guys. Hunker says that out loud. How much do we tell this guy?
I don't know. That's why I was trying to get a vibe check.
Well, if
we're just here to experience the high society of the Drow, as you can see by our wallets, as Honker takes and rolls a platinum piece across each hand.
Nice.
And he says, just looking to meet different people, acquire different things, maybe things that don't show up in the market, private collections. And he pulls out like 2 more platinums to start juggling them.
Ah, interesting. Yes. Well, there are many interesting and rare items throughout all the shops here in the Antiquities Quarter. If there's anything, whether it is stuff you are used to seeing or things of a darker nature, we have it all down here in Shrane. The eyes of the heavens cannot reach us here.
You only have to worry about the eyes of the heavens if they would make a problem for you. And he adds like a little rock to the mix, and he says, we have our own god watching us. Tell me, do you know how we might potentially get access to the inner portion of the city? We'd love to see it and grace it with our presence. Adds another platinum to the juggling circle.
So he kind of looks you over here and sees you juggling these platinums and says, well, if you're trying to get into the Forbidden District, and typically most visitors to Shrane aren't allowed there, but I could perhaps put in a good word in on that front. You'd need to speak to Zira and Narinda about such things. I can let them know of your interest, but I alone am not powerful enough to persuade them, so you may want to try to befriend other influential members of the House Shrane. You can, of course, talk to Zavazik at the Red Circus.
Yes, we put on quite a good show there. Why don't you talk to them? I bet we could meet even more influential people. We were just thinking about destroying a bunch of people at the Colosseum.
Ah, yes, they do love their blood sport over there. Well, I'm certain if you put on a good showing at the Red Circus, certainly you could mention it to Zavazek, and he can put in a good word as well.
This sounds wonderful. I appreciate your information and all the help that you're going to be. And Honker whips out a copper piece and puts it over to him.
He kind of puts on a like a kind of a slightly amused smile of sorts and says, "Yes, of course. Well, we appreciate your business here in the Antiquities District, and hopefully there will be more in the future."
Oh yes, there will be. There's quite a few wonderful things here. Surprises that you'd never think you could find. I talked to the best tailor earlier today.
And this Olivicar, having made his introductions to the newest big spenders in town, heads on his way, perhaps to put in a word for you, but we'll see.
Cool.
So in terms of other things,
yes.
you can of course talk to the guy in charge of the circus. There's the House of Chains that we haven't been to yet, and then of course if you ever want to kind of get an idea of your standing in town, you could talk to the owner of the inn. He could probably paint you a picture of where things are for you right now.
Oh, my aching bones. He's got the truth.
Yeah, the proprietor of the inn has their finger on the goings on in town, and so they could probably paint you a picture of how decent of influence you have around, just to get you a general idea.
Well, we should swing by the circus and tell that guy that since we are so awesome, like we're confused why he isn't telling everybody how awesome we are. And and then
Of course.
I it's been a while since I skinned something, so I was hoping we could maybe go skin some things in the Coliseum. We don't have to kill them if you don't want. I can heal them afterwards.
I think this crowd would love to see a puppet kill and skin whatever nightmare beast they throw at. That, like, put on a demonstration. These people are going to be into that. If you want to find a warm audience for a live flaying, this is your only chance, my buddy. Like,
Good.
Really get to practice your art.
Wanting to use this, I've got this idea where I could probably.
You think the Shumis want to see this shit up on the surface? This is the only place that will play.
Oh man!
You skin fucking people alive in front of like the pug people at their forest village? No, we are in the fucking Badlands. Do your weird shit. Like, be your best self right now.
Inspiring.
Honkers getting more and more
friendship. It really brings me to my eye.
I just gave him you think that's going to play in Pug Keepsy speech?
In Pug Keepsy? Oh man. So Honker, it sounds like you're fired up.
He's got a staff healing in one hand and a knife in the other.
Right. So you head to the Red Circus here, eager to throw your knife in the ring on the gladiatorial fights. So let's see here. What do we have? So you head in and you head to the back, and you find Zavazek back here. You're kind of directing things around. He says, welcome back. Quite a decent performance you put on last week. Nicely done. Are you back to perform some more? What can I do for you?
Sorry, if we perform more than once in a city, it actually has been documented for some reason that I don't understand. Pause for full scream and the entourage climbs out and wanders off. It seems to damage the mental health of the citizens. So we were just hoping you could put in a good word around town about us. And one thing I've been wanting to try out is this idea where I use this thing and I have the staff of healing. And I use it to keep somebody alive, and then I get a skin for my carriage, and it's all one piece because I just heal them and keep skinning to like make a, a wrap for my carriage. Hunker's like got this whole idea. He goes on and on for a good while.
All right, so Zavazek's here, seeing you explain all this to him, and he's kind of nodding, going along with it here, and says, seems like the gladiator ring seems more of your speed today. Interesting. Well, I mean, you are travelers. How adept do you feel? I mean, we do want to have a good fight, of course. And, it would probably be in your favor, of course, if you came out of it alive. It'd be better for your winnings, of course. But how adept do you feel?
In my opinion, I'm the best.
Yeah, you're looking at the Adeptus.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the #1 Skinner in all of the overworld.
Nobody
Look
finds
at his hands like little skinning knives, little scalpels on those fingers.
It's not worth skinning somebody if I don't think I might die at least a little bit, because otherwise there's no fun. But also, I'm going to murder whatever you send against us. So if I can't murder it, I will heal them while I skin them and keep them alive, and then let them live while I have a piece of their skin.
So Zavazek kind of grin widens here, and he says, "Well, that's the spirit, isn't it? Interesting. Well, I will get something to your flavor lined up here in the ring for you. I'll see what I can do." And he bids you to prepare yourselves while he goes off to sort that out. So let's see here. We'll just use this map. That works.
Hunker's firmly confident there's no afterlife, so like he's not scared of death. It's just part of it. As long as he can skin.
Alright, let me get this set up here. All right. So after a little bit, and you guys are kind of preparing yourselves, doing your warm up stretches, whatever you got to do. Zavazek returns, and he is he's kind of beaming almost, like he's got this wide grin on his face, and he sees you all getting things ready here, and says, "Oh, I think I have an interesting one for you. I hope you find this to your liking." And he kind of doffs his hat a bit and waves to direct you towards the arena. So you all head out into the arena here. And at the moment, there's nothing else in here. But you see the stands are packed with folks of all types. You see there's a chunk of the stands that's a little raised and away from the rest of them, where you see some drow are watching as well. But you see on the far wall of this Colosseum, there are some large portcullises. And Zawzek kind of steps out behind you here and says, "Welcome! Welcome all! Today's gladiatorial debut. Our new travelers here." And he kind of kneels down really quickly to all of you. What do you call yourselves? I'm ashamed
Honker
to
and the
say I
Stitch
didn't.
Kids.
Honker and the Stitch Kids here have graced us in their travels from the far-flung surface. You may have seen their performances here recently, but that is not all they can do. They can do more than dance and spin and juggle. They are also quite deadly, as we shall see here today. And he kind of throws out a hand across the arena here and motions to these portcullises, and they begin to raise. Everybody give me a perception check real quick.
Oh god. I got so cozy I forgot that I had to do stuff.
All right, so you all see from like the darkness beyond these portcullises, kind of these different colored flashes of light, kind of a little green, some blue, some reddish, and then you see coming out of the portcullises two large centipedal creatures. And you're kind of surprised, actually, because you've seen one of these before, quite a while ago. I'm trying to remember where it was that we saw one of these. I know we have. Here we go. This thing. I want to say.
Yeah, we have seen one of those before.
Oh,
It's been a hot minute.
if I remember correctly, I believe it was when we were. Like, we traveled to the east of Willowside, and there was that, like, casino that had gotten overrun by a spell gone wrong with Darklands creatures. I believe it was there that we ran into that, because they were all of, like, the weird, like...
I have it in my notes. I even drew a picture of it.
Oh.
The town of Willowside, under siege, backrug, great evil cult demon guy, tentacle beard, trident tail. Freaky three-headed Grant centipede.
Oh, that's where it was.
Killed it. Found 3 strange flasks. Yeah,
okay.
Outside Willowside.
Okay, so it wasn't Willowside. It wasn't the overrun casino. It was the cultist caves under Willowside.
Yes. Okay.
Where you'd run.
We were fighting the cult.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So this is a Mukrati. It is a 3-headed centipedal creature. And from the last encounter that you had with this, like their 3 heads seem to have different elemental attunements to them, and they do a variety of, fire and poison and electrical based things with their heads. So, fun bunch. But there are 2 of them this time instead of just 1.
Last time we saw them, we were looking for the Banyan Boys.
That's true.
Yeah,
in my notes.
they were in those caves.
Yeah, they were in those
Goddamn
caves.
Banyan
Yeah.
boys.
Was that when we were looking for Moonstone Hall? I think that was the Moonstone Hall.
No, Moonstone Hall was...
Moonstone. No,
Moonstone
that
was way
different one,
earlier.
different town.
Moonstone was under Escadar.
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
But yeah, surprisingly familiar, at least a little bit, even if they are still kind of freaky. So everybody go ahead and roll up initiative.
I'd say, do we have to, but we literally volunteered for this.
Technically, Hunker volunteered for this.
Let's see. Let me find a good trick.
And
Kind
I'll
of the
do it
same
again.
thing.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
Nat 20.
All right, pretty decent rolls on our initiatives there. So Maz, you
This
are
bodes well.
up first.
I'm up first.
against the Mukrati here.
Do we have a
Is
map?
there a battle
Oh, sorry.
map?
Oh, sorry. I forgot I didn't share this with you. My bad.
Rude.
So here we are in the midst of this.
I like how there's still a blood stain from the last battle.
Yeah,
on
this
map.
this just reused one of the other desert maps, but we're still on sand, but in an arena. That there isn't just a specific arena map.
Well, maybe a fight just got done before us, and they didn't have time to
Mm.
clean the arena.
Yeah,
No,
that's
you're
flavor blood.
You're so right.
Oh, that's a great doodle, Sam. I love that.
That's my notes from. I think that was back in that was back in July of
Yeah,
last year. It was almost a year ago.
I mean, hey,
So I found that
pretty accurate.
I don't keep a table of contents. I do this other stuff.
So, Maz, what are you kicking us off with here?
Sorry, I'm having a hard time figuring out how to target on my Mac.
If need be, I can target it for you. Which one are you targeting?
That might the the left one.
The left one? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You're targeted.
Okay. God, I can only. Let's see. I started at 50. My movement is what, 25?
I believe so. Yes, 25.
All right. So.
I mean, you could do 2 movements and then have 1 action left if you really wanted to.
Sure. And I'm gonna go here. And then since I only have 1 action left, I'm going to I'm gonna do my Storm Herald's ability, Call the Storm.
Okay.
So since it's within 30 feet of me, it needs to do a basic reflex save.
Okay. Let me roll that for it here. Reflex. Here we go. It rolls a 33. What is that against?
Shit. 30.
Ah.
Okay, never mind. Nothing happens.
Damn. Alright. I think that's your turn then.
Is the other one within 30 feet of me? No, right?
Let's see. It is.
Oh, it is. It's 25.
Okay, so it would also roll a reflex then?
Yeah.
Sure. Let me do that real quick. That one rolls a 37.
Damn it.
Damn.
I have all these cool toys and I can't use them.
Oh.
Aw. Alright, Grotus.
Grotus is going to stride forward, and with each step, he gets a little more stumbly and effortlessly falls into his stumbling stance.
Oh, right. Yeah, you have that now. Mm-hmm.
And then with stride as his first action, flurry of blows coming at you. And I think there's a thing where it's the special thing for flurry of blows.
Oh, right. I recall you mentioned
Sorry,
this.
1 second.
All good.
Not flinging blows. 3 secrets. No. Stumbling feint.
Okay. What does
When you
that
use
do?
flurry of blows, you can attempt to check as a feint as a free action just before the first strike. On a success, instead of making the target flat-footed against your next attack, comes flat-footed against both attacks of the flurry of blows. So this deception and the flurry is going to be all the same action.
Okay, so go ahead and do your deception then.
Okay,
Ooh.
never mind that. Probably not.
Not
gonna work.
flat-footed, but still got your blows.
Still going to do my flurry blows. They are going to be a stunning strike if it does hit.
Okay, I'll get its
Make him do that.
stun thing rolled here, the fortitude.
I mean, it only matters if it hits.
That's true. Yeah, it rolls a 45 on the
99.
fortitude. Oh, man.
Yikes. Rooney.
All these low rolls,
Woof.
get them out of the way.
Doodle. So that was a move and a flurry. I think
You
I'm
still have
gonna-
another one. Mm-hmm.
I get, well, yeah. Flurry's one action.
Hey, there's a hit.
Hey, there he is.
Okay, and does that trigger the stunning, right?
No, it's only during that flurry of blows.
It's only during the flurry. Okay. Well, you still hit it and got
Yeah.
a little bit of damage in there. Striking at one of the heads of this thing, the plates of it. Well, it doesn't seem like this is maybe very, very skinny, but, it has these interesting... It's got a carapace. I mean, it's kind of skin in a way. Probably do something interesting with that. Bras.
You know what's so great about being an alchemist? I don't have to run up to the damn creature. I can stand back. Alchemist fire his ass.
All right, let's toast some bugs. Oof.
All right, well, he still gets splash.
Does still get splash, yep. All right, still get splash, even on that.
All right, well, it's better than nothing.
Well, your splashes of fire on this thing, like you do see your splash hitting it, even though the bottles themselves are missing. Doesn't seem to really be taking note of those at all. Like you saw some of the stuff get on it, but didn't really seem to react to your fire.
Bastard.
All right, Scorch.
All right. Unfortunately, Scorch does have to get right next to it. But we will attack with the tail flail.
All right. That is a hit. All right. Scorch coming in hot with the tail, with a hit and a miss. Still something, though, at least. Looks like that is all of his actions here. Which brings us to the bug. So this beast here... Let's see. It strikes at Scorch. Oops, wrong target. There we go. It strikes at Scorch with its tail. It has this kind of long tail with these kind of spines at the end of it, and it whips it around in the Scorch's direction here. Ooh. Critting. Owie, owie. Smacking Scorch with that. And it tries to... it tries to kind of like wrap Scorch with its tail here. Scorch, give me a reflex. Alright, so Scorch manages to dodge out of the way of this attempted grab on him here. Which brings us to Honker.
Honker will frown and he will shout to the rest of the team, even though they don't have any skins, we will put on a good show and inspire courage on everyone.
Okay.
I will use one of my focus points and try and make that a lingering composition one.
Sure.
Okay. How successful is a 42? Because that's all I'm rolling tonight, apparently.
42, that should be a critical success, I believe, for that.
Oh, yeah. That's 3 rounds. They'll be inspired. And then Honker will say, I will help Scorch. And he will try and take possession of the one by Scorch.
Okay. It succeeds on its save.
Success on that. Interesting.
Okay, what's that?
I possess the target, but I can't control the target. So I'm along for the ride in his body for the moment.
Okay. Does it have to do, like, everything rolls it does on its turn that are related to that, or are you just kind of there for now?
Yep, I'm just there until I dismiss it.
Okay. And with your Inspire Courage, somebody's getting a free Stabberino. Who you
Oh,
giving
yeah.
that to?
Grotus, you can take a free swing at the one by you. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Will do.
And I also just realized that Grotus...
Surprising.
Ooh, nice crit. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll the damage on that, Grotus, which reminds me, Grotus did get a successful hit when he first strode up there, which means that, Maz, you would have gotten your extra stab attempt.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll your thing for that, because I forgot about that.
One of these days, we'll remember that the first time around.
No, we won't.
All right, nice chunk of damage there, Grotus, on that crit here. Let's see if we get another bonus one here.
Nope.
Ooh.
Sure won't.
Woof on the bonus. All
Maz
right.
just spins in a 360 circle.
All right, so Honker is currently possessing the other one here, which brings us to the one over here by Grotus and Maz. All right, so this one here, it's kind of head with the mouth that glows orange rears up a bit here, and it lets out a blast of fire out of its mouth, and kind of a cone at Maz and Grotus. Let's see here. Oof. All right, so both of you, this heat washes over both of you, and you feel it, burning and stinging at you, and you take a bit of damage from that flame maw here. And then for its other action here, wait, nope, can't do those, doesn't have enough. Okay, so it tries to, like, it kind of rears up a bit, and it tries to knock you down, Grotus. Grotus, give me a reflex. All right, so Grotus, at the last moment here, you managed to sidestep this strike, avoiding being knocked down by this creature here. Which brings us to Maz at the top of the order again. What are you doing?
I'm gonna just try and go stabby again.
All right.
That's all Maz knows how to do.
It's a good trick.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Hey, that's a hit. All right, and don't forget to roll your sneak attack damage as well.
That's what, 8d6?
Yeah, 8d6s, yep. And I'll get that applied. Oh,
You'll
wait.
need to do it.
That's
I
right.
don't have a mouse on this computer yet.
All right, with your 8d6, an additional 23 damage there. Let's see, 120. Okay. All right, that's one. A miss on that strike. Still have one more. Oh, it lingered on that 18.
Yeah.
Critical miss.
Well, that's my turn then.
All right. Roz.
Okay, I am gonna need the dude in front of Scorch to give me a fortitude saving throw.
Okie doke. Let me do that here. It rolls a 50.
Well, fuck. Never mind that. It's gonna do something cool, but I guess I won't. So I guess I'll just do a bottle lightning.
All right, we'll see if the bottle lightning does anything. It misses. Still does the splash. See if the splash does anything. All right, that seems to at least
Yes.
take a little note of that.
I was trying to use one of my new alchemist items called Dragon Vial, and it would have been really cool if it would have worked.
Ah. Well, I'll have to give it another try. All right, this guy is currently possessed. Does that change anything about what it's able to do?
Nope.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Fucker's just rolling around in his head.
All right.
It's just a shitty way for the spell to fail, that's all.
Ah, okay.
It's
All
got
right.
to be at least a little bit annoying for the creature.
Got a silly little guy in there. All right, so this beast, it opens its mouth, the green mouth, and lets out a cone of breath at Scorch. Which Scorch manages to dodge. He jumps up out of the way as this green cloud kind of spreads over the area here. And then for its other action here, the creature swipes at him again. So like he finishes breathing out its cone of acid here, and then whirls around, bringing its kind of whip-like tail at Scorch, and hits. All right. Does a bit of damage there. All right, the other beast. This one. Okay, it didn't knock you down last time. It did not. Okay. So this one just goes for some bites at each of you. So it does one on Grotus, one on Maz. So we'll just roll both of you at the same time. Ooh, miss and a miss. All right. And then for its last action here, it kind of rears at you, Maz, and tries to get at you with its legs. Like it's got these kind of spines on its legs. And it seems to be trying to come for you with those here. Oops, didn't mean to roll on both of you here. Well, it did hit Maz. Let me just make sure I de-target Grotus. And leg. Here we are. All right. gets you good with the spines on its legs. Damages one of your arms here.
Oh, my
Honker.
bones.
What can you do, Honker? Since is it like a amount of
Oh,
time that you're in there, or what?
No, I can just cancel a spell. I'm just laying down now. Oh well, what's the range on this one? Okay, so everybody still has the inspired courage. So then Honker will get out of the mind of that guy and stand up, and then on the one by Grotus and Maz, he will attempt to. He'll start his singing routine,
Okay.
which is canticle of everlasting grief.
All right.
He'll need to reflex.
It fails.
Okay, so he'll take full damage.
Nice.
Is frightened 3.
Ooh.
And then for an entire week, it can't benefit from circumstance or status bonuses.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay. All right. So this thing is debuffed. It's feeling the grief of his existence down here as this, beast of combat in an arena. You're kind of getting to it a little bit. It'll take some penalties to its things now going forward, because we're not going to be fighting it for an entire week. Hope not. Anything else on your turn, Honker, or was that all of it?
Oh no, that's it.
Okay. All right. Grotus.
Gonna do that. Ridiculous flurry of blows again. Starting with the deception as a free action. And then it's gonna be just slapping them around.
All right. Fuck him up.
Be deceived.
All right.
Fuck yeah,
that
that's gotta be
successfully
good, right?
that successfully deceives it, so it is flat-footed to your
Get
strikes.
deceived. All right, off guard for the first one. Gonna get a bonus for damage if it lands.
Ooh, critical. Let's
Yeah, it
go.
does.
Nice. All right. Pummeling the hell out of this thing with that first part of the blow. You still got more to come. Critical too. God damn.
Another. Love it.
Damn. Okay. The back-to-back criticals. Grotus, you are pummeling the hell out of this thing. It's, been demoralized by Honker, and you have brought an end to its miserable existence here as this thing screams and collapses into the sand, and you see, various liquids leaking out of its mouth here. People in the crowd around the arena here are going wild with one of these down. The other one kind of lets out a screech here over by Scorch at its compatriot that has been laid down.
Well,
You still
cool.
have some
Screech all you
actions.
want, because now you're getting the flying kick. Flying kick. Here it is.
Oh,
Okay.
overconfident. The flying kick does not land, but you just land in the sand unceremoniously.
That'll be my whole turn.
All right, whole ass turn. All right, Scorch.
Tit for tat.
Ooh, Scorch with the critical. Here's all of our criticals that we've been missing in previous sessions. They were here. And the critical miss on the one. There's the other end of the critical.
You gotta get the whole spectrum in there, you know?
Right. Nice work there, Scorch. All right, Honker. You're up. Top of the order this time.
Okay, so this time Honker will pick up the bits of
Carapace.
carapace from the other one,
Mm-hmm.
from his friend, and then attempt to beat the living one with the pieces.
Oh, with
for
the telekinetic
bombardment. Yeah.
It fails. It's save.
Love to see that. Failure. Oh, nice. It's knocked prone.
Ooh.
So that'll be nice for those of you that are hanging out over there.
Indeed. All right, these
It'll
flying
take
body
its
parts.
full damage.
Whew.
And then I will. That's just a Dirge of Doom for my last action. Like,
All
that'll
right.
just frighten him one.
All right, so
That's my turn.
The parts of its friend's body flying across the arena, smashing this to the ground. Kind of lays there, kind of stunned a bit from this display. Scorch is right up. God damn, Scorch. Whoo!
Scorch likes to hit things with his tail.
And it is prone right now, so that's helping. Ooh, a regular hit, but still a hit. Is he gonna get the trifecta? Ah, darn, missed on the last one.
That's okay.
He still did good. Grotus, this thing is prone on the ground.
Perfect. Get stumble striked. I'm gonna do that thing. I think that's some like the Rock used to do as a wrestler. Like look like he's about to like drop an elbow, but you don't know when he's gonna do the elbow drop. It's a feint. Deception.
Deception is 39. That succeeds. It is deceived. It is flat-footed to you. In addition to the prone, which
Totally not ready to receive this business.
fuck him up. God damn.
Never saw it coming.
How could it have? It was knocked down. It was flat-footed. This thing's got a whole stack of shit against it.
I mean, this is definitely a time for us to get lots of criticals. We are trying to.
You
make
are,
ourselves
yeah.
look
This
cool,
is
so-
a very impressive arena fight that you guys are putting on here for folks in Shrine. Oh,
That was less cool. Well, then now just comes the final strike.
with a nothing. Damn.
Okay, well.
All
I
right.
front loaded all my damage at the first hit. He can still make since he's still alive, he can make his and got hit by the flurry fortitude save.
Ah, yes. Let me roll that up real quick here. Fortitude. It rolls a 38. Which
That beats it.
That beats it still. All right. Brings us to it. So it is prone. It uses an action to get itself up off the ground. And then for its remaining actions, let's see here. So this thing is enraged by the flurries of blows, both emotionally and physically upon it, from tearing apart and smacking it with the body parts of its compatriot. And it charges up its breath weapon here with rage. And let's see, this one would target. Oop. So in a line in that direction, hitting both Grotus and Maz. We'll see if it does. Oh, did it still roll? Oh, that critical is it's targeting itself. So normal hits to Grotus and Maz. With this shock maw, it sends out this beam of lightning energy. Alright, striking into both of you here. And in its fury, you see its flame maw also open and shoot another thing of that in your directions. Missing Maz. You were just on the far end of it and managed to get out of the way. Grotus still takes the flames. Alright, which brings us to Maz.
Okay. So Maz is going to move as first action. Can you please target it?
Yep, I got you. Alright, you are targeted.
Okay. Then I'm gonna do a stabby. Poke, 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 poke.
Critical.
Poke, 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 poke.
Hot damn. Alright, you stab your rapier into this thing, getting it right in between the joints of its carapace.
Roll that
Zapping it
sneak
with the
attack.
electricity. Yes, and roll your sneak attack as well. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, don't forget, if you're expert proficiency in your thing, you should be able to get the critical specialty effect of whatever that weapon is. Then we're in Pathfinder. Critical specialty
Oh!
effect is the thing.
Oh, right. That does have a critical specialty effect.
I just had to look mine up because I completely forgot to use that on all of those criticals I had. But
Oh, right,
what it
right.
does is the fortitude against your for brawler group, for the unarmed, he should have had to roll what is it? Roll a fortitude or be slowed 1.
Oh shit!
Nice. Yeah, you guys have some. Yeah, we'll definitely have to remember these. Let's see.
So whatever the class specialty. So the class specialty for rapier, which I think is in sword group,
Yeah, sword group.
the target is made off balance by your attack, becoming off guard until the start of your next turn.
Was that just off balance to like everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, off
damn.
balance until the start of your next turn. So it's I don't need to do any feinting. It's already off balance.
It's already
Not
off
gonna do
balance.
anything.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, let me go ahead and roll your sneak attack damage though, because this might be a moot question to ask, if depending on how these roll. It was indeed. So with your sneak attack, you got your rapier in there. You're zapping it up, and you kind of jam it in there a bit more with your extra sneak attack, and that seems to be all that this needed to send this thing to the ground. And you guys find yourselves in this arena here. It erupts into cheers and applause. They seem quite impressed that this little ragtag bunch of travelers here has managed to take out both of these things. Pretty damn good. Let's see.
In a very short amount of time.
Yeah, not bad at all. Let's see. So this gets you some
Man, here I
influence.
thought that guy said he had a challenge for us.
So once you finish the fight here, and the crowd finishes cheering, and Zavazek comes back out to kind of finish off the match here, and he's like, "What a match, folks! My, the blood, the action, quite a slaying for us here tonight in the arena of the Red Circus. Let's hear it again for Honker and his... Oh, in fact, what was the name he had? Honker and the Stitch Kids? Oh, it's Honker and the Stitch Kids. For Honker and his Stitch Kids! And the crowd goes wild here as you guys are waving your way out of the arena. Let's see. Payment-wise...
Honker boos his way out of the arena. He's angry there's no skin.
So, payment-wise, for that fight, so you've earned some more influence, and... Oh, this is quite a bit, it looks like. Let's see.
Nice. It always is when they let
That's
me
right.
be myself. We're happy to hear. We kind of have that effect in a lot of places that we go. People talk about us. That joke is so bad that I will do that for you. That's what happened, is you just earned your place in my will as I roll a bunch of platinum across my hands. Nice. Thank you for running tonight.
Yeah, good
Flora.
stuff.
It was a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It was a
was.
fun one.
Indeed. Oh, whoops.
Alright.
I must
Oh,
have-
I'm adding the doodle that I made last time to the chat.
Thanks, Quack. Oh, did you? Oh, nice.
Hold on. I made one of our Cynthia Chase.
We always need one of the Skinthia Chase.
There we go. The AI did a good job, but I think I did a pretty good job too.
That is
Oh, I love
also
it.
pretty delightful. Here, let's bring this over here.
Love it.
This was
That's
from
great.
our last one here. Awesome. All right. Well, you guys have a good long weekend out there.
Yeah.
We'll talk
See
to
you
y'all
later.
later.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Later.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, Quack. It's good to have you here. I don't really talk towards the chat very much during those. I'm usually doing something else, obviously, running this thing. But yeah, this is our long-running Pathfinder, Pathfinder, not Starfinder. This is Pathfinder 2e campaign. This is the Extinction Curse module series, and we're pretty deep into it. It's a 6-module adventure path, and we're currently in the 5th module, and this is our 68th sessions. We've been doing this particular path for a couple years at this point, so we're closing in on the end. Probably before the end of the year we'll finish this entire thing out. But yeah, the party is a bunch of clowns. The overarching plot of the Extinction Curse module is that there is this ancient race of lizard folks from inside the planet that live in like the Darklands, which is basically the Underdark of Galarian, which is the Pathfinder world. And they are mad because eons ago a god stole like these life-giving orbs from their civilization, and so they're trying to bring about some extinction curse to the entire surface of the world to wipe out the surface dwellers for these ancient slights that have been done against their people. And this group of folks that have been, kind of fallen into being tasked with dealing with this problem are a bunch of clowns. They literally started the campaign as just some performers in some little circus that had broken off of another circus because they wanted to make their own one, and the original one was abusive, and they wanted to have a union. And so they've been traveling throughout the world here with them and their circus that they got kind of put in charge from, since the original ringleader got killed in like the very first session. And so now we've traveled all over the world as this circus group, and have now gotten sent into the Underdark, basically, into a gigantic radioactive black desert at the bottom of the world, and are in a city of the Drow, and they're like all undead, trying to get their influence to get to some goals that they're trying to achieve down here. But it's been a wild story. It's gone all over the place. So yeah. Let me see. Is there anybody I know who's on right now? Oh, Miscellaneous is on. We haven't rated them in a while. Raid. Miscellaneous. Spell that right. Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been fantastic. And we get up to some horrible shit. Especially with Honker, who's a little eldritch demon of a poppet. We'll see you around, Quack. Thanks for coming.